Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Aquaholics Anonymous. Appreciate you all being here. As you can see, we've got an awesome panel tonight. We've got Mrs. Fever joining us, and then we have a wonderful guest, Bob Steenfott, and last but certainly not least, my wonderful co-host, Chattanooga Ed. I appreciate all of you being here tonight. I think it is going to be a fun stream. We may or may not get on topic, because that's just how we roll, right? And then we do also have a fish giveaway. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but I'll go ahead and throw the rules out real quick. You will need to be present in the stream. It would be much appreciated if you're subscribed. That would be awesome, And you do need to be in the United States where I can legally ship fish to you. That is a critical one right there. And we'll talk more about those fish and what's going on with that here in a bit.
Do you ship to Canada?
No. That's good. You should ship to Canada. There are a lot of things involved with that. I know you were being sarcastic. I'll use the word sarcastic since we're live. But
most common question I ever got.
Yeah, and I see a lot of that just in the streams with Aquarium Co-op, and a lot of the bigger people that do a lot of moving products. Do you ship to Canada? Why don't you ship to Canada? You need to ship to Canada. So no. I will gladly ship it to you right below the border in America, and then you could figure out how to get it into Canada on your own. Not encouraging that, of course, but I'm not shipping to Canada. So, Bob.
I'm AFK for a second. I'm sharing this. Hold on.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you doing that. I'm going to say some hellos real quick. Looks like we've got 38 people watching. Let's pull the chat over here. Amy St. Creek Aquatics 2, hello, and thank you for re-upping your membership. I appreciate that very much. Anthony's Fishy Friends, Ivan Chirino, Posiwi, T-Bone, Chattanooga Ed, of course, in the chat as well as on the stream. Get down through here. Dragon Lair, good to see you. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Always a pleasure. And no, I'm not getting any hissing cockroaches. Cody Son, hello. Thank you for being here. Chat froze on me. Candy, hello. Rebuilding our brand. Maria Z, Recon 338, the Zen Ginger, Mr. Fish Sir C23. And we have a new member, Logan's Aquatics. Welcome to Team Bristlenose. I appreciate you becoming a member. Very, very cool of you to do that. Thank you. Be sure when you get a chance, check out the members only videos that are up. And you do also have access to some members only emojis in the chat, as well as when you're leaving comments on videos. So thank you again for that.
Okay, I'm back.
There we go. All right. Well, welcome back. So, Bob, let me ask you this, buddy. And I've talked to you a little bit off of the camera, but how have things affected you lately? Has there been any real effect that you would blame on the health issue in terms of what's going on, or do you think it's just a shipping issue in terms of selling fish online and that type of stuff?
Oh, it's definitely a health issue. There's a lot of people that are blaming it on politics. But I will tell you, like, my best friend works for the post office, and if one person gets tested positive, then a lot of people got to call out for 2 weeks. So it's a lot of that going on. So yeah, it's just been a nightmare.
Well, I see a lot of people rolling in with the hashtag hang on backs rule and hashtag title filters rule. That was actually supposed to be the topic for tonight's stream, was why are title filters so awesome and Bob isn't?
Yep.
That's true. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I know that you had some comments about titles the other day, and you've been getting a lot of crap about that.
I think maybe there's something lost in translation on how, because everybody, when I say hang on back, everybody says title. I say hang on back, that means all hang on backs.
Right.
Like all, not just title. I mean, I've never used the title, so I can't say anything bad about it. But it's still a hang on back, and it's still not my favorite. So
absolutely.
But I've had like everyone and their grandma message me since that live stream about how sweet titles are. So they're awesome. I've never used one, but there you go.
There you go. Yeah, they are amazing filters. I highly recommend them for hang on backs. I've never used one, but they're awesome, right? I do know that Bob Kaler's Aquatics is always singing their praises to me, and it seems like every time we go to a fish store locally here, he's walking out with 2 or 3 titles to add to the collection.
Yep. Well, he uses some on his saltwater even.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got big saltwater tanks that are doing amazing. So something's going right.
Well,
a lot of people don't like hang on back for saltwater tanks, and I don't see any problem with it. I get like the reasoning, but I mean, I'm going to do hang on back in my saltwater tank. So,
yeah, well, I think I'm going to do the same. I've got a 23-ish gallon bow front that I want to do, just a small saltwater with some zoanthids and corals and stuff, and I'm probably going to go hang on for that. So we will see. I guess I'll try a title for that, since I've heard raving reviews.
Well, now on my 120, was that a title that you were working on or cleaning up for me?
No, that is the AquaClear. That is my
AquaClear.
favorite hang on back, because you can customize and hot rod that sucker so much, and the media area is just massive. It's like all media area.
What? Did you just say AquaClear and not Seachem Tidal was your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. Shame on me. Yeah.
Now everyone's going to message you just like they did to me.
Absolutely. Guppy Guru said, nice shirt. Yes, thank you, Guppy Guru, who supplied the shirt. I've got one for Ed as well. I appreciate it. Extremely comfortable. I'm enjoying it. I appreciate you sending that out, Peter. Awesome of you to do that. Amy, Sand Creek Aquatics 2. Yes, that is Nathan's bow front. Very long story short, when we lost Nathan at Sand Creek Aquatics and went to him to help Amy out with moving some tanks, that is one of the things that came back. It's sitting just on the opposite side of the monitor, because I want to build a nice stand for it and make it look really, really nice and clean. I am going to grab a couple of super chats real quick, and then we will get rolling back into it. David Double Else with the $5 super chat says, hi there, first time on this channel. I would like to know if you guys have experience with dinosaur bisher. So Senegal bishers, I have 5 Senegals, and then I have 3 ornate bishers. I really love those fish. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, and then I have 3 saddle bishers. I absolutely love bishers. Those are one of the fish that I keep purely out of just really, really enjoying them. You know, some of the things I enjoy the fish, but I also like guppies. I really enjoy guppies, but I get a lot of different strains to play with breeding and stuff. The bishers would be one of those that I would keep if I only had a couple tanks just to keep them. What about you, Bob?
I have one biker, but I've kept many over the years. A fish that I want that is kind of like a biker is a fire eel. I want a gigantic fire eel.
Those are nice. Those are really, really nice. I almost forgot. Those of you that are accustomed to the channel know you get the party poppers. Steenfott's like, no, God, no. And this one's from Maria Z. Maria's was defective. With $5 super chat says, chat's moving too fast. So hi, everyone. Thank you, Maria Z. I'm going to grab this other one real quick here. Mob for USO1 with $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Says, I want to buy more Mbuna/Peacocks websites, guys. So I'm not a huge cichlid person. Mrs. Fever's is a cichlid person, but we generally get them locally here at the LFS or at cichlid club auctions. Do either one of you gentlemen have a good suggestion for cichlids online?
Go for it, Ed.
Well, I mean, you can go to Dan's Fish, get gills, and check it out there.
Mm-hmm.
How about does Guppy Guru? Does he have those on his? Bob, you're a rainbow guy, right?
So I have done my fair share of African cichlid, mostly Tanganyikan, but I probably have about 15 different species of African cichlids right now. I get my African cichlids through a website called cichlidlovers.com. And he's just a really good breeder. His name is Alan, but he only ships primarily like air cargo. So the only downside is I got to drive 2 hours to the airport, but top-notch quality.
You know, also Imperial Tropics. They're a farm in Florida. They have an amazing amount. James and I were going to almost go there this weekend.
So almost. We thought about it when we were going down to Florida. We just didn't have time this past weekend when we went to see
hurricane down
Butterfish.
there too, or something like that.
It was fine.
So there's 65 listings on Get Gills for African cichlids. Or no, I guess it just says cichlids, not African. But There you go, 65.
John from KG Tropical says someone's rubbing on a mic, making it sound like a thunderstorm. Finally, someone else with audio issues. Not sure where that's coming from.
I don't hear it.
I barely hear it, but her mic is muted on her set. I really hear it now that he's mentioned it. Other people saying it sounds like there's wind.
Oh, you know, I have a ceiling fan on. I've got it straight up right now. I could turn my ceiling fan on.
It is Chattanooga Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Blame it on me.
The bad thing about the fish room is it gets hot in here.
It is. Well, thank you, John, not only for the send over, but also for popping in to bring that up. Finally, someone else with audio issues, huh? I'm sorry I couldn't give you an echo tonight. We could probably turn her mic on if that would make you feel more at home, buddy. But, you know, we try to avoid that.
It's exactly why I don't stream from my fish room, because it's too hot.
It can get a little warm. It stays right around 79 degrees. 78 to 80 is the general temp in the fish rooms. But I find you get used to it. It's almost like when we went to Lucas's LRB Aquatics, went to his place. His garage is a lot warmer than the rest of the place. But after about 5 or 10 minutes sitting out there, I didn't even really notice it. And I think that's part of it, because like I'll have people over. When Ed came over, he said, "Oh my God, it's so warm in here." When we came into the fish part of the house, and I'm like, "It feels normal to me."
Well, I'm a fat guy, and it was July.
Oh yeah.
When I walk into a house, I hope that it's cooler than it is outside. It's like my whole body's like, "Oh, thank God it's indoors," and it's like, "Oh, it's not."
Okay. We got to address the $100 super chat from Priscilla that says, "I don't like the title. Used a few at the store for over a year now, and she doesn't like them." So there you go.
Yeah. I'm not seeing what you're seeing, but there you go. I think Bob's making stuff up here.
Part of it, but somebody who's in my corner. There you go. Although again, I've never used it, so I can't say I don't like them. But just again, hang on backs in general.
Lefty3213A said Live Fish Direct for African cichlids online is an awesome place. And by all means, we will happily take questions and comments out of the chat. If you'll put at Fish Room Fever so it highlights for me, that makes it much easier to grab a hold of those. No super chat required to do that. Priscilla says, "What? Give my money back, James." I would try, Priscilla, but it took so long to get you the money when I bought stuff from you. I don't know that you'd get it back this year. That was a whole payment shenanigans right there. That was fun.
Yeah, I still need to go to Denver. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out west and visit some people out there. We've visited a lot of people over on the East Coast and whatnot, but hopefully Aquashella Dallas will continue on and we can get a little bit further that way. I've not heard anything to the contrary, but I also would not be surprised if they did cancel it out.
Yeah, I mean, who knows anymore?
Yeah, I'm just kind of playing it by ear.
I would most likely go if they have it. Most
likely. Well, we've already got tickets, so you know.
Yeah. So what happened? If you bought tickets, did they refund them? Or did they?
No, they just said it's pending, and we'll take your tickets for whenever we have the event.
Yeah, they just keep pushing it.
Yeah, so that way they don't have to refund it.
I think I'd rather have my money back than for it to never happen and just be like, "Well, we're filing bankruptcy."
Yeah, well, or when they put it on Halloween, that kind of was stinky. You know, let's put it on holidays, and maybe these people won't show up.
Yeah,
that's not a real holiday, anyways.
But it's I'm not gonna say my favorite, but most fun.
And when you have kids, it plays into it some as well.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
It is what it is. I shall be there if it occurs. Well, eventually it's bound to happen. One day things will go back to normal. Let's see some highlighted comments. Chewy LT says, "Been a whale of a day fishing fever. Thank goodness it is the weekend." Yes, thank goodness it's almost here. It's always the weekend for me. I don't know, Bob. Do you have that feeling? Given that you are living
Every single day for the last month has felt like a weekend. Like I'm like, is tomorrow Sunday? Is tomorrow Sunday? Just because it's been a really good month.
Yeah, your channel has been doing really well. Not that you weren't already, but this past month has been amazing for you. Like the numbers spike has been awesome to watch.
Well, that's the thing, you know, they say this, it's really corny, whatever, but they say do what you love and you'll never work again.
Yeah.
Well, I loved the videos I made this last month, and so it has really felt like I'm not even working. Like for the first time ever since I quit my job. Like it's been great, it's been a fun trip, but it's still been work. But for some reason, like the last month, it's just been exceptionally fun, I guess. I don't know.
Now, do you think, how do I phrase this? Kind of cutting back, not spreading yourself out so much has helped with that?
I think so, because I've quit everything. Like the gaming channel, I quit, deleted most everything on the gaming channel. You know, one live stream a week, it's way easier to manage. One video a week. It's like, I don't know, when I was doing multiple videos, it was like I was filming and editing the day before it came out. And now I've got like the next almost 2 months of videos already uploaded to YouTube. So I could literally do nothing for 2 months.
That's what you were saying the other day. It was amazing to me how many videos you already had done.
Yeah.
And so
now I can't release them all back to back because it'd be really redundant. Like Danny and I went to Aquarium Co-op and we filmed 3 separate videos. So I can't just release 3 of those in a row, you know?
yeah.
So I still have to like do other stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And I find myself making sure that, you know, I don't do, you know, 2 or 3 unboxings in a row. We'll do an unboxing and mix it up and come back to something else. But, you know, and I blame you, Bob, if it hadn't been for listening in on your live stream and hearing about that Petco sale, I wouldn't have acquired another 31 aquariums. But
man, you had to do it though. You can't pass that.
I had to do it. Well, and it was fun. She was actually in here trying to help me. She was pulling up different locations. At one point, I actually got banned from the Petco website. They wouldn't let me back on. So I switched over to a different device and a different IP, and it let me back on temporarily. And then I got banned again. And finally, it was like, yeah, this is enough. And I think all 4 devices got banned. So, but we got some good deals out of it.
Yeah, a lot of people scored before they figured it out. I truly believe it was an error simply because they took it off the website.
Yeah, they completely.
If it wasn't an error, they would have still allowed you to buy aquariums at full price.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't even do that the next day.
No, they completely removed them being even available. But it was fun. And then she got to ride with me down to, not Chattanooga, Cleveland, to pick up some of them that were in her name. So that gave us a little fish adventure, if you will. And
Cleveland's like a suburb of Chattanooga, though.
Yeah, she said bettas. So I've finished building. It's 16 10-gallon tanks, 4 racks of 4, and it's going to be all bettas. But I'm dividing those 10 gallons out. So she's got her betta wall now in the living room.
Nice.
But it's I don't know. It's definitely, I guess you could say, addictive. That's the Aquaholics Anonymous. I think it's easy to get in deep, especially, you know, $6 for a 10-gallon tank. I mean, it's hard to pass that up.
And the 20 gallons were $12. Wow.
Yeah. I snagged 3 of the 20-gallon, I guess, talls, just the standard 20 highs, and 5 of the 29s, and I stopped it going anything higher because of being able to transport it.
I couldn't get anything but 75, so that was the only thing available.
I think Kaler's Aquatics got some 75s and maybe some 90s. I know he was talking about he got some bigger tanks.
Yeah, the weird thing is, like, I just went to Petco the day before, and they had, like, just tons of tanks. But clearly somebody found out that deal before I did. They even had a 90-gallon, and it was gone.
Yeah. Well, and I had that happen. I went to checkout a couple times, and it would be available, and as soon as I'd hit checkout, it'd be like, oh, we don't have these items.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get to one of the stores that the manager said, oh, these items were canceled off of your online order, but we've gotten a truck since then. Would you like to add them back on? And I'm like, I think the price is different. She says, no, I'll match the price for you. Do you want to get the rest of these that you ordered? I'm like, yes, please and thank you.
That's awesome.
So that was great. Real quick, Amy at Sacred Aquatics 2 says, Fish Room Fever, Miss Fever is being quiet tonight. I think that's because I haven't shut up. $5 super chat again from David Double L. I'm going to pull a Corey here and encourage any of you all that are doing super chats to get your money's worth and become a member. And then you can at me with questions for free, which you could do either way, even if you're not a member. But you get at least something in return for that. But thank you for the $5 super chat. David says, will Bishers get along with South Americans such as Severum, Blue Acara, etc.? So we have a green terror in with some of our Bishers. It's in with 3 larger Senegal Bishers and the 3 ornate Bishers, which are good size as well. Again, what works for me may not work for you, but it has been working here. So,
I'm scared to try this.
I do too. I have them with Dread Pinacara and Geophagus. Everybody gets along.
There you go. Bob?
I don't really do those kind of fish, so I couldn't tell you.
Gotcha. But I certainly hope that helps. I will say, any fish, even in the same species, can, temperaments can vary. So I just recommend if you give it a shot, just keep an eye on them to watch out for aggression issues, but you'll probably be fine doing it. And thank you again for the $5 super chat. Petzotic / multiple aquariums says, oh God, I hope things don't go back to normal. Winky face. Diego, thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. I do appreciate it. Always good to see you. Thank you for being here, buddy. Worldwide Tropicals, Fisher Fever, a few things. Love the angelfish and love the aquascape. Thank you very much, Worldwide Tropicals. I have got some massive crinum in this corner back there, that I need to get into a taller tank. I wasn't going to poke her eye out. Don't worry, folks. I saw some concern in her face.
She has protective glasses on.
Yeah, exactly. She's wearing PPE. So, she'll be safe. One Dirty Platy saying Fisher and Fever, # booty boys. I don't know if you heard about that or not, Bob.
No,
but,
I don't know if I want to hear about it.
A long story short, Ed, Daniken Aquatics, Kenny, Father Fish and myself had to go get some water shoes before we went wild fish collecting. And so we all 4 got water shoes, and the lady that was working the place has, she's trying, there's all this, nice scuba gear and all this, and we're just getting water shoes. She's like, nothing else. You don't need this. You don't need that. And we're like, no. And she's like, well, we're going to call you the booty boys. So, because all we got was water booties. So that's kind of been our little group name, if you will. And thank you, Worldwide Tropicals. This hasn't been so much of an aquascape as me just trying to get some decent plants in there for them. Brad at Mr. Fish, they're asking Pet Supplies Plus saying Pet Supplies Plus has a $1 per gallon sale on now. Don't tempt me. I still have 15 more tanks I've got to figure out what to do with. So the answer is no, but that's good information, and thank you for sharing that, Brad.
Yeah, the ones I bought, I didn't have room for. I had to take them somewhere else.
Yeah, that's I don't know what I'm going to do. I got the 16 tanks up in the living room, which Mrs. Fever was kind enough to acquiesce to that request, and that's where the 220 gallon is going for the piranha to move into. Once I can get the darn thing moved, I may need to borrow Ed in his truck one day. More your truck than your back, Ed. So that I can get that 220 gallon here and move these piranha. But how many tanks did you end up with, Bob, if you don't mind me asking?
Just
Total?
3.
Just 3? Okay. Well, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
But they were, 75 gallon tanks.
Yeah. That's nothing. That's it. No, I'm sure that
it's all that would fit in my truck anyways, unless I stacked them inside of each other.
Right. I am curious, and I will get to, I see some other super chats. We'll get to those here in a minute, but I'm curious with cutting back on fish sales, what your plans are for tanks. I don't know exactly if you were set up got 40 tanks that are just for holding fish, and I'm gonna shut those down, or are you going to convert those over to personal tanks, if you will? Or
so I'm still up in the air on if I'm going to continue selling. I don't know. I've never shut down my website. There's still fish on there. What I'm doing now is converting everything over to like show tanks. And I've already experienced trying to sell fish out of these show tanks and catch fish in planted tanks. And I don't know that I want to do that all day.
You might as well be trying to catch
all day process.
Yeah, you might as well be trying to catch coolie loaches with a net that's got holes in it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably still continue to sell fish just because I want to work on breeding a lot more. And so I'll need the website to get rid of those fish that I breed. But I'm just not sure how much of a variety I'm going to do.
I gotcha. So the tanks aren't going anywhere is the big question.
Yeah, well, and I'm getting rid of all the 10-gallon tanks that I can and replacing them with 20s.
Ooh, road trip.
So I'll have less, but I'm doing all planted tanks. So 10-gallon planted tanks are not very fun to me. Because I do a lot of stem plants, and I'd be like trimming every single day in a 10-gallon tank.
Yeah, 10 gallons are okay, and if you just want to let it fill up with guppy grass.
Yeah, or like slow growing plants, crypts, anubias, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, moss is another one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of moss mats that I've got growing in tins. They seem to, and it's not because of the size of the tank, but I get the best growth on my moss mats in my 10-gallon rack. So that's where I stick a lot of those. And I've got bare bottom in a lot of them, and I just make moss mats and lay them out across there, and then they just...
So the other issue is, like, I still have a lot of fish, even though they're not on my website. Like, I have a ton of different species of rainbow fish. I'm like Gary Lang rainbow fish, right? Like guaranteed strains rainbow fish. But I don't want to ship these fish because they're expensive. And if one of those packages gets lost, or like I had a package take 7 days, if they die and I have to replace that, then I lose money. So it's kind of like this weird area right now. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
I can understand that. I was just curious. I know a lot of other people are. A lot of fans that are curious, I'll say.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Good deal. I'm sure there will be.
Just the way the timing has gone for me, and like I'll be like, okay, I'm going to start selling again, and then it'll be like 20 degrees outside in December, and I'll be like, well, can't till spring now.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. I was like all geared up and ready to start selling some fish, but it was too cold. And then by the time spring came around, I had kind of had to get rid of stuff because I just didn't have room to keep, 700 bristlenose plecos around and, 1,000 mystery snails and all that other stuff. And it's like, oh, I can ship. Oh,
and the rates are going up. I haven't looked at how much they're going up, but
yeah, that's gonna be fun. Real quick, Father Fish with the $10 super sticker with the number one fan. Thank you, Father Fish. I appreciate you doing that, my friend. It was so awesome getting to hang out with you, see your fish store, and do some wild fish collecting with you. I do want to let you know, Father, that we have our first Formosa babies. So they actually dropped some fry. And then Ed over there.
I've also got some of the green mollies have had fry too. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So we've got our first, I guess what would that be, Ethelyn, your first batch of aquarium.
Yep.
So aquarium spawn, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, that was a blast.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was crazy. And James was a madman. He was awesome. He was all in there going to town, not looking for gators.
I grew up in Florida. I ain't worried about gators. I don't have any footage of that, but both Daniken Aquatics and Father Fish have video of that. Me being like up to here in the water with the big old net trying to collect fish. It was definitely fun, and I definitely made a fool out of myself.
Not a fool. You just looked like an animal.
There we go.
A good type of animal, like a machine. That's
I was in my element, is what Kenny kept saying at Daniken Aquatics. I think I can agree with that. Multi-Tech Addiction with the $5 super chat says, hey, Shy Gal, can you send James over here to help me with some stuff, please? She said bye. So
bye.
She's going to take care of the... That's what I love about having a spouse in the hobby, is that I don't have to worry when I go on trips. I know that she can handle the stuff and that she's up for it. So I don't have to stress like I guess a lot of people do. Oh my God, you know, my neighbor's coming over to feed my fish. Are they going to, you know, screw it up? Or case in point, I had an overflow that got clogged maybe 5 hours into the drive down to Florida. And so I think there was probably about 30 gallons of water that hit the floor. Fortunately, she was here to unplug it and, you know, all was well. But that could have been really, really disastrous had there been no one here. But I'd love to come out and see you sometime, Chris. Hopefully we can make that work. And thank you again for the $5 super chat, buddy. Multi-tank addiction. Grab his Daniken Aquatics is pooping on the stream with the $5 or with the $1 super pooper. And then there was one more. There it is. There's the $5 when Daniken Aquatics is hashtag booty boys all in the house again. Yes, my friend, that will be an adventure to remember. And I appreciate you taking us down there to Florida.
Don't lump me in with you booty boys.
You're not cool enough to be a booty boy.
I do have booties though for when I go rafting.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, the whole time we're like, well, we can just hit, you know, Walmart and get like some $10 water shoes. Well, there were no Walmarts immediately on the interstate on the way down, and you figure with a 10+ hour car trip, you'd see at least one close to the interstate. So we ended up in that dive shop. And so we spent like $50 on water shoes, but they're really, really nice water shoes.
They're really nice.
Yeah, really, yeah. So
Wait,
they're going to.
I wish I would have got ones like Father Fish, the high top ones. They're only $5 more, and he got high tops. So you can tell who's the veteran now.
Yeah, I just I looked at them and I was like, well, I'm going to try and get my money out of these. So if I'm going to the pool with water shoes or something like that, I probably won't look quite as goofy with the non-high tops. If I was down there wild fish collecting all the time, definitely would have been the move to make. Plus, they're compatible with flippers if you want to go snorkeling or scuba diving.
You skipped over 2 super chats, by the way.
So I was trying to look for it. Jumped rapidly. I think that's what she's pulling back up.
Logan's Aquatics with the $2 super chat. It says, I have a 20 long. I set up with live plants.
All right.
And then Grumpy Mike's Fish with the $3 thumbs up pair. There you go.
Thank you, Grumpy Mike. I appreciate you. Sorry I missed those. As I was scrolling down, it kind of all the way to the bottom.
He was too excited about the booty boys.
The booty boys. Man, that was an adventure. Now, Ed and I have gone on a lot of fun, you know, road trips and adventures and things, but that was something that, you know, cramming all that into 2 days, the drive down, the drive back, getting it done, limited sleep.
Is there a reason, like, to cram it all in? Like, why not take 4 days and go to farms or Seagrass? Or
Daniken had a very tight schedule. So Daniken was driving. He was kind enough to offer for us to ride down with him. So he had to kind of get down there, get back up, and get headed on the rest of his trip because he's got to be back home. You know, he's got a deadline. So he had to move quite quickly.
That makes sense because I know you guys don't have dedeadlines.
No, we don't. Like Ed and I.
That's why it was weird to me that you're like, we were in a rush. I was like, since when?
No, Ed and I have. I think if/when we get back down there, it'll probably be for like a week, at least a couple of days.
I would love to go to Florida and collect.
What was amazing?
I'd probably just go sit on the beach for a week, to be honest.
Yeah, that was another part of it. Is there was so much that we had, you know, the opportunity to do. It was kind of like, well, what do we, you know, actually do? I didn't even film Father Fish's place, his pet store, because I knew Daniken was going to get a video of it. And
I feel like Father Fish is the kind of place you want to. I feel like he would have so much cool stuff.
He does.
Thinking like from like 50 years ago or something, like all this like really cool stuff over the years. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel.
No, he's got an awesome place. But I knew Kenny was getting it covered. So if you want to see Father Fish's place, go check out Daniken Aquatics tour of it. That was awesome. But I was actually.
You could go to Father Fish's channel and check it out on.
You can, absolutely. Absolutely. Father Fish's, you get to see kind of. I mean, he's done tours, but, you know, for just like a legit somebody else's perspective, I guess, if you will, tour of like, oh, well, that's cool. I didn't figure that because you can.
I always like to see it from someone else's perspective. Like when I film my fish room, I don't know. I'm like, I see this every day. I'm not really as excited, but someone comes over and they're like, "Oh man, it's so cool." And I'm like, "Okay, it kind of is." So
Yeah, and it's the same thing, with my fish room. And then like I go to Ed's and he's like, "Oh man, my fish room's not as cool as the other ones." And I'm like, "Dude, your fish room is awesome." So it's nice when you get somebody else's perspective of it, and you still get that wow factor from that person.
plus, when you're a fish nerd, like all plant rooms are awesome, regardless.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter, like whether it's the super nice ones or just the ones stacked on cinder blocks. It's all cool. Like it's all awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna break the bad news soon.
Go ahead. What bad news am I breaking? I don't know. I don't know what you're wanting me to say.
C23 is coming.
C23. Cichlus 23 says, "Go on a trip, James. Suddenly there will be 5 more cichlid tanks when you return." So the bad news she would be referencing there is that after her red frontosa was viciously murdered, she said, "The heck with these cichlids." So now we just have the black widow frontosa. The rest are gone, but we will be setting up a Shelly tank, so that's something new coming. Sean OOTD has finally warned me in. So I was talking to him earlier, and there's going to be a Shelly tank coming.
Shellys are awesome.
There will be more frontosas going in with my Black Widow too.
So yeah, so we're gonna have. I think we're gonna go with multifasciatus, and she's gonna do more frontosas. So we'll have more cichlids. But yeah, that's true. With all these empty aquariums, if I leave for a week, there's no telling what's set up when I get back.
I would just like to say that manes, tails, furs, and fins. If she's going to Florida with horses, I hope I get an invite.
Oh man, that would be so
She says
awesome.
she wants to go, but she wants to bring her horses. Horses on the beach is amazing.
I've never done it, and I grew up on the beach, but that sounds amazing.
So fun.
Yeah, so let me ask you in terms of Shelley's, because I've not set my heart 100% on the Leolamprologus or the Lamprologus multifasciatus. But what would your recommendation be if you had?
Well,
to
it depends on
suggest
what you
Shelley?
want to do, like, and how much work you want to put into it. If you want colony breeding Shelleys, get multis or similis. If you want something like, because you can do ocelotus like gold or pearly, but you have to separate the fry or they'll get eaten. I mean, you can colony breed them, but you're not going to be you're going to get like 1 or 2 fry.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
It just depends. If you just want like a set it and forget it, like just do your water changes and you get your colony, it's multis or similis for sure.
Sounds good. And that's kind of what I talked to with him, because I was looking at going another direction. He's like, "But you've got to pull the fry," and I was like, "Let's be honest. We're like right at 90 aquariums now.
Exactly.
Me pulling the fry all the time is probably not going to happen."
And the thing with like ocelotus, like gold and pearlies, and why they're more expensive is because you have to look at them every single day, because if you don't catch the fry the very first day, the next day they're going to be gone. And the other thing is like, how is it going to look if you just fill your tank with shells, then you can't just pull a fry. If you use like the little 90-degree PVC elbows with the caps, then you can just pull off the cap, get the fry. So like, do you want a tank that like looks good, or do you want a tank with PVC pipe? So.
I got you. Yeah, and Sean had mentioned that earlier, and I hadn't really thought a whole lot into it. I'll probably do the shells to start with, and then if it's a pain in the butt, I might.
And I find that multis, similis are pretty close as well, but they're always active, and then they're always pushing stuff around. They're always building piles. Every day you'll walk in, and they'll be like full on rocks. They will move rocks. It's crazy for how small they are.
Yeah, I think that sounds like the way to go.
And everybody loves multis, and if you get overrun, they're easy to sell.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Father Fish says, "I do not have a store. I have a big fish room." Yeah, I mean it's so awesome though. It is so cool. I wish I had more time. Hopefully, I'll have more time in the future to get back down there again. Fantastic Freaks with the $5 super chat says, "Just joining after a late day at work. Scored a free 50-gallon tank yesterday. Maybe thinking Amazon puffers. Not sure though. Suggestions, fish folk." So congrats on the 50-gallon for free. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate you, fantastic freaks. Amazon.
We
puffers
need another
would be
member
cool.
so you can do your little party poppers. I want to see it again.
Right. Well, I need to do party poppers for these. Honestly, I'm like, there's so much going on that
Who cleans up the party poppers at the end of the
the
stream?
kids do. I have kids for that. I think I owe like 5 party poppers. So let's just blast a bunch off. Here, you got some. Let's pop them off here.
Oh, Shy's so much better.
She is. That's why, she's around. Because she's better with the party poppers and she knows about fish.
Well, while
I
you
haven't
guys are
even-
popping those, I
Go
will
ahead.
say, if you ever get a chance to get Amazon puffers, buy all of them. They're
All
getting
of them.
so hard to come by, especially healthy. Like if I walked into a fish store and they had like 20 healthy puffers in there, I would buy them all. I don't even care how much they are.
I hadn't even gotten to the super chat wardrobe tonight. That's how it's been a really rushed day. Just since I've gotten back, I feel like I've been behind nonstop.
That's the one bad thing about leaving is coming
Yes.
back and being behind on everything.
Yeah. So I'm trying to. My main focus has been at least, well, of course, the fish health, the standard stuff that you have to do to keep your fish healthy. But aside from that, because that should just be an obvious thing, has been trying to get out some videos. Keep the YouTube people happy and show my appreciation, and then working on the projects after that. So the projects are like, I spent 4 hours just cutting dividers for the betta wall the other night. So stuff like that just takes forever. Logan's Aquatics says, I love Father Fish's store. I missed y'all. I was only 30 minutes away. Logan's, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh,
If and when we get back down there, we'd love to meet up with you because we love meeting fish people.
I'm sure we
that's-
will. Maybe we'll have to have like a meetup in Venice or something and eat at that really good place, and then we'll check out all the other stuff after we hang out with Father Fish for a day or two.
And then
Out there, James.
It's so cheap to travel right now. I would go anywhere right now.
you need to join us, Bob.
That would probably make a lot of people angry just saying that, but
It does. I honestly, we stay safe about it. And one thing you've got to realize is we've noticed this a lot because we've been through a lot of states. I know Daniken has because he's been all the way across the country. Every state you go to has a varying degree of give a crap. Some of them, it's like, oh my God, why are you out in public? And others are like, what's a mask? We don't need a mask. So it's been really interesting seeing those varying degrees of, I'll say, seriousness that the health issue has been taken with.
yeah, right now it's under $200 for me to fly across the country to Florida. That's insane.
Yeah, and I think it was
And you get like a free seat.
oh wow.
Well, so Alaska is doing this thing where like you buy one, get one free, and then they give you the middle seat for free. So you essentially get the whole row or something crazy like that. It's ridiculous.
I need to talk with you on flights because like I'm finding cheap flights, but I'm not finding like free seat flights. And I know you don't want to divulge your secrets to the whole
Well,
world.
the trick is to marry up with one airline so you get the good email offers.
I got you.
So yeah, you may have to pay an extra $10 for this flight this time, but rack up those miles. Just stay married to one airline. And then there's other secrets as well, but I don't want people taking my free first class tickets. So
I don't blame you. Chewy LTD said look into some small Lamprologus and Gelitochromis 2 fish room fever. Chewy, thank you for that. Always appreciate your knowledge. Zen Ginger was dropping the link. And then Logan's Aquatics with the $5 super chat. And it's the same thing. I'm sorry I didn't read it before you super chatted that, but Logan's Aquatics with $5 super chat says I was only 30 minutes away. Next time I will see y'all. Father Fish is in Venice. I'm in Port Charlotte. Thank you again, Logan, for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciate it. And yes, we would love to meet up with you. We love meeting fishy people, all the fish folks. That's
so I
what
will
it's all about.
say, Cichlids23 says I need to talk to my agent. Time to go to Hawaii. Hawaii and Alaska are very strict. You have to, if you fly to Hawaii right now, you cannot leave your hotel room for 2 weeks. So you're under quarantine for 2 weeks before you can even leave your hotel room. So if you want to stay at Hawaii for a week, you really got to be there for 3 weeks.
Man.
And Alaska is the same way.
So here we go. We have a fishy question in here. Recon 338 says, Fish Room Fever, someone in chat, T-Bone, which is one of the first people in here tonight, is having an issue with cloudy water. Test results: ammonia 0, nitrite 0, and nitrate 5 parts per million. Any thoughts from the panel?
Sounds like a bacteria bloom to me.
That's what it sounds like. It's definitely what it sounds like.
When it happens to me, I don't worry about it at all.
No.
I just do my normal water changes. If you don't like the way it looks, you can increase your water changes, or at least I would, but it doesn't bother me because I know in like a month it's going to be gone anyway. So,
and I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Corey had mentioned something along the lines of doing additional water changes to clear it out gives them extra water that simply helps continue on the bloom, if I'm not mistaken. Something along those lines.
Yeah, so it's two things. Like it's either a bacterial bloom or an algae bloom.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you could just do carbon.
That's true.
Load up on carbon.
It's so funny. Carbon used to kind of be the go-to almost in the hobby. It was, in everybody's tanks. And
It was just carbon and salt.
I don't even think about carbon anymore. I've got carbon, but I forget it as an option just because I just don't ever use it unless I've got to like pull meds out. I just completely forget about it. Very good point. Streetwise with $5 super chat says, nice crew tonight. Streetwise buddy, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, my friend. Logan's Aquatics says, check out Allegiant Air. Will do. Thank you, Logan's. And Allegiant flies right into Punta Gorda. So I will have to check that out. Joanna says, quarantining is a good strategy. Yes. So that's actually part of why I've got so many tanks is I have one rack that most of it is just for quarantining. Candy saying horrible. How could anyone stand to be QT'd in heaven? C23.
Yeah. HC Aqua says Bob is right. People still do it though. Oh yeah. If I could afford it, I would much rather spend 2 weeks in a hotel in Hawaii than 2 weeks in Washington State.
Right. Well, and that's what I was joking with Ed. Well, partially joking. I was joking about doing it now, but I was just talking about flight prices. And we we found round trip to Australia for like $1,100 a piece, which is
Peru's like $400 round trip right now.
Oh, we need to do some collecting. But it's like Ed pointed out, that's great, but you got to sit in your hotel room for 2 weeks.
And then you can only go 5 miles from the hotel. So that's another messed up. I shouldn't say messed up thing, but they're going to extremes, Well,
the trick is to buy now and fly next year.
That would be nice.
Ooh. So Chewy's trying to get me with the Latin names tonight. Chewy says Benthachromis tricot and Calanochromis or Chalanochromis species are also great, friendly, small tangs. I will definitely look into those. We've only got 10 minutes left before Chattanooga Ed's stream starts. Ed's got something fancy coming up.
Lima, Peru, $414 round trip. If you schedule it for next spring.
Wow.
How cheap that is? That is dirt cheap.
So are you saying we're going collecting spring of next year, Bob?
Oh, I'll be in Peru next year for sure. I don't know when though. And I want to make it to Ecuador too.
One day I will get there.
I pretty much want to be the old guy puttering around South America just collecting fish. Like,
but wouldn't that be awesome?
This week I'm in Colombia. Maybe I'll go to Paraguay. I don't know. Get kidnapped, whatever. I don't have any money anyways.
Right? So Von Lurker's got a good question for Bob here. It says, what other species of rainbow fish can I put with kamakas without crossbreeding?
Almost none. You can pretty much only do like pseudomagills, so small rainbows. But almost anything will crossbreed that you can buy at a pet store because they're all usually Melanotania. So you're kind of stuck.
Now, I do have to say, when we went to visit LRB, as much as you've talked about rainbows, he finally turned me to the dark side. I fell in love with rainbows when I saw his tank in person.
Yep. They look good on camera, but they look even better in person.
They do. And I know that's generally the same with all fish. We never really get the true beauty out of anything that we film or that we watch. But with those guys, it was just amazing. So I do foresee a rainbow tank in the future. Logan's Aquatics says,
especially if you have 90 of them, I mean, you could dedicate one of them to a rainbow.
Yeah. Well, and I've got a 55 that I had no plans for because I was supposed to be getting a 90 gallon, but it ended up being a 55. So, I could do a 55.
That's how I ended up with my 300 gallon. Somebody mislabeled it. They had it on Craigslist or something as a 400 gallon. And Corey was like, all right, I'll buy it. He drove over there, picked it up, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it's 100 gallon difference. So he's like, well, they came way down on the price, so he bought it, and he didn't have anything to do with it, so then I bought it from him.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Logan's Aquatics is saying, when I was in the military, it was $1,800 one way to Okinawa. Good thing the military paid for the plane ticket. Yeah, no kidding. That would definitely be a setback. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. I caught all the highlighted stuff on the way through. If you have any last-minute questions for Bob or Ed or Mrs. Fever or myself, feel free to throw those in there. No super chat required to do that. Just put an @Fishroom Fever, and we will gladly grab those. While we're waiting to see if those pop in, which they probably will, do you have anything breaking news for us, Bob? Anything special coming up you can tell us about for the channel, life, hiking?
Not that I can think of.
Just living the dream every day, huh? Gotta love that.
Yeah. No new fish, no new... Just redoing the fish room, but that's about it. Again. And then when it's done, I'll probably redo it again because that's what we do. Right.
So we've got, let's see. Oh, that's Zen dropping the link. Thank you again. I just saw the highlight there. Tom Patterson says, public service announcement. Pet Supplies Plus $1 a gallon sale. Had a 20 long blowout. My White Cross tank. Got most of them. Sorry to hear that, Tom. Ed and I both picked up some White Cross endlers from him up in Indiana at that CCAC meetup last month. So I'm sorry to hear about that. That always stinks when a tank has issues.
Yeah, it does.
Is he saying the tank blew out or that Pet Supply Plus had a blowout like a sale?
Maybe blowout like a sale.
Oh.
I mean, I assumed that since he'd already mentioned they were $1 per gallon, that was kind of inferred in that. It could be that, I bet he's got so many.
I bet he's got so many white clouds. They're filling all the 20 longs.
Possibly.
I'm hoping that.
Yeah, I'm so used to reading things like that, and it's a disaster that my mind just went there automatically. Unfortunately, you hear about a lot of stuff like that. We had somebody else in KG Tropical Stream earlier that was talking about they had a tank go out. I can't remember who it was, and it's somebody I see all the time.
Well, Danny, my friend on my channel, heard 125 blew a scene last Friday.
Yeah, and then, I won't say that. He may want to talk about that on his channel. But we had somebody else who had a big tank blow out. That always stinks. I don't want to say nervous, but I'm definitely going to be super careful when I resale the 220 gallon. So
that's why you go acrylic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that, but I've already got it. It's just been sitting in storage for so many years. I don't trust not resealing it. So I feel like the weather has gone too hot and too cold too many times for it to have not affected the silicone.
Yep.
Okay, there's Tom Patterson. Tank blew out, bottom busted. So I am sorry to hear that. It sucks. That really, really sucks. Missed my Android. There it is. Nope, lost it. Priscilla's asking about Project Anavantoid. So that has wrapped up.
Oh.
That wrapped up the end of last month. We've still got to do the judging on that, and then we will announce the winners. So I think Ed, you want to do it like we did last time around with Project Facilia? Get on a private video call like this and go through all of them?
Most definitely. That was the most fun.
So if any of
I wish we could go step by step and show all the people.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I mean, if we don't have the scores next to the photos and stuff, I wonder if we could do that. I mean, we'll skip the videos, but we could show the art and the photos, probably.
Priscilla said I should tell people it's over. Well, we were telling people it ended last month, all month long. We were very, very clear on when it ended. Very clear, because with the first one, we had people trying to submit stuff for like a week after.
Maybe you should come to the streams more often, Priscilla. Then you know it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic Freaks with the $5 super chat again. Buddy, you're awesome. Thank you. I'll give these to Miss Fever since nobody likes when I do it. Says, hopefully you can visit Omaha sometime. Got some awesome stores here in the Big O.
Oh, who said that?
Fantastic Freaks. I am down to go anywhere. Bob's like,
fantastic. You're from Omaha? That's awesome. My family's all from Council Bluffs. I love the Omaha Zoo. But we'll talk about that on the next stream.
Absolutely. So Ed's got a really awesome idea for the upcoming stream. It's more topic oriented, if you will, which is funny because normally we flip that around, if you will. But Ed's a really big planner. He's a smart guy. But you want to tell him what the upcoming topic is? That way we can kind of transition over to your channel here in just a minute.
Well, we'll go through all of our normal, just stupid talk. But I like Google everything. I Google like, how many stars does this Walmart have? Or, you know, this restaurant, this. And I went and I did the top 20 freshwater fish. What are the top 20 freshwater fish? And they only have 17. Which was weird. I don't know if maybe 18, 19, 20 was just such a spread, but I thought we could talk about what would be our 18, 19, and 20, and then if they did it right, because I don't think they did. But James will pop up the website. It's a big fish website that did it. And
it is.
I thought we just kind of talk that. But we talk about all sorts of stuff. And before we end, Bob, you can go if you want. You can come over if you want. But if you're heading out, do you like fantasy football?
I used to.
Well, we need one more person because James said he would like to learn and try.
That's not what I said. I said I would fill an empty spot if I had to.
Is there I don't even know how that's going to work this year.
Yeah, well,
like
we're going to do the
what if I
draft
pick
on
somebody
Monday?
and then that dude gets COVID? Then I'm like, well, my season's shot.
Right?
Now you got backups.
Well,
yeah.
Real quick, I want to say, because I'm sure people are like, what? He's forgotten. I have not. I was just waiting till the last minute. If you want to enter to win the fish giveaway that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, because we're coming to an end, again, you have to be here, which if you're listening to this right now, you're still here. You have to be in the United States where I can legally ship you fish, and I would appreciate you being a subscriber. Type hashtag Tetra, and we will give it a roll. I'm going to give it about a minute. Fortunately, we're only stomping on Ed's time, and he doesn't care. So,
I don't.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the giveaway, too.
I totally did.
So I'm going to give about 2 minutes for people to get entered. Well, one thing I noticed with the Nightbot giveaways is it's got a thing in there that mentions removing people that haven't been active in the past 15 minutes. So I figured we'd just get it at the very end there. And that way, if you enter, you're obviously active within 15 minutes. And if not, then you weren't here for it. And we rambled too much and you left too early.
So do we know what the fish is?
It is a Serpe Tetra. It's going to be 6 of them. They are, what's the word I'm looking for here? I've had them for many months. They're not like I just bought them today at the pet store and, you know, they might flop over, you know, in 2 days.
So these are good seasoned fish.
Yeah, they're good seasoned fish. They are in my snowball pleco colony tank. If that lets you know anything, anybody that knows me knows how much I love my snowball plecos, and I would never put anything in there that could potentially, you know, get them sick. So I will ship them out hopefully Monday, as long as your schedule allows and you're not like going to be out of town or anything. I'll wait until after the weekend to ship them out. That way there's as much chance as possible of them not being delayed and sitting somewhere. Oh, Monday's Labor Day. Well, then I'll ship them out Tuesday. See, that's the thing with not going to work anymore, if you will, is the holidays elude me a lot of times. I'm like, oh, and then she tells me it's Labor Day or it's, this day.
Yeah, I forgot about Monday.
Yeah. So
somebody told me that a 3-day weekend for the holiday, and I was like, what holiday?
Well, it's going to be
the holidays in
fantasy
August. They're like, it's September. I'm like, it's already September? What the?
Yeah, no kidding. So it has unmarked a bunch of people. Bob, do you want to tell them about Serpe Tetras? I know you probably, not that I can't, but I figured I'd let you talk for a minute. Since
yeah, they're awesome. Story over.
They're awesome. They are awesome.
That's the species profile. They're awesome.
We should do that video, and we'll just see how many.
They're about this big.
They're Tetras, man. They're peaceful. They look cool.
Your standard.
So I would say don't win them if you have like big South American cichlids, but
yeah,
you have community tanks.
Sorry, I'm trying to mark everybody eligible. We've got like 40 people that are marked as ineligible on this thing, and I want to make sure that that's fixed real quick. So bear with me on that. I
was going to order some guppies, and then I realized it was the holiday, so I decided I'm just going to wait another week.
All right. So I'm going to screen share this because the last winner I had was Mr. Zen, and if it had not been on screen, nobody would have believed that it was honest. So let me do this.
If it's Mr. Zen again, it'd be hilarious.
So we're going to
roll it. Zen this time.
And the winner is Guppy Guru. See, nobody would have believed that because I'm wearing the Guppy Guru shirt. So if I had not done that live,
conspiracy.
No, well, see, look at all these people we had. If I hadn't done that live, nobody would have believed that that was legitimate, which is why I do it just like that.
Fun. This one isn't for a winner. This is just a runner-up. Let's see who would be the runner-up.
Okay. Again, I'll say disclaimer. Ed wants to just see possibly. Would have been Chevy Fish. Now Chevy Fish is going to be mad at you, Ed. You owe Chevy Fish some Serpe Tetras.
Chevy came so close. That should make you feel good.
So congratulations, Guppy Guru. I've lost my chat. I've lost everything. Sorry, tonight has been a little scrambled.
Usually happens when I'm involved.
Well, see, it started out I was going to have Mrs. Fever on because she's not been on a lot of them. And then I was talking to you, and I was like, you just want to come on tonight? And then we had the giveaway. So it kind of all got crammed together, and it's been hectic trying to get 31 tanks set up. So I'm sorry I was a little off tonight, but I appreciate everybody being here. I think somebody said we've got almost 100 likes. 107 watching and 103 likes. So
it's awesome.
Cichlids is saying it's fixed. That's why I did it live, so everybody would be able to see that. But we're going to go hang out on Ed's channel. We're going to talk about the recommended top 20 aquarium fish, which actually only lists 17. What we agree with, what we disagree with, and I guess finish off the list and making an actual 20 versus 17, right?
Yeah.
So, Ed, I got to run to the grocery store before they close, but if you're still on when I get back, I can hop on if you'll have me.
Oh, sure. That'd be great. Thanks a lot for coming on tonight. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you.
Bob, thank you.
I love
appreciate it.
I'll go on anyone's live stream, even if they hate me.
That's great.
We'll have to plan on going to Florida with you.
Yes.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Let us know when you get cheap flights, and we'll just go when you get the cheap flight.
Anytime.
We could meet you and get you.
Heck yeah. So we're going to swap over. The Zen Ginger has dropped a link for Chattanooga Ed's live stream. So go grab you a drink or a snack or use the bathroom, whatever. We're going to hop straight on over into that, and we will see you here in just a second.
And thanks for having me on, by the way.
Thank you for being here. Ed, if you've got any last words before we switch over, which is funny because we go to your channel, but...
Yep, head to my channel.
There we go. He's finally actually starting to market himself. I love it. Bob, any last words from you, sir?
No, just thanks for having me. It was fun, as always.
All right. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate everybody hanging out, the lurkers, the listeners, Tampa Tom and CJ Black watching the replay. All of these super chatters, thank you very, very, very much. Our new member, thank you. I appreciate you becoming a member. The moderators, in case I missed that, I hope I didn't, but the moderators, I appreciate everything you do and everybody that participated. So until next time, keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy.